reach to Srila Prabhupada. I'll go ahead and get started with the prayers. Om Ajnanatirmirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarini. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Seeking blessing from all the essence of devotees. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing to read Madhurya Kadambini, the Sweet Cloud of Mercy by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and then translation by His Holiness Banu Swami Maharaj. So we are now, today we are on page 15. That's where we are. So everybody that has the book, you can look at the page 15 and the last paragraph, right? It talks about the stages of advancement in bhakti. So far we discussed about how when bhakti begins, then we see the two leaves sprout, which is Kleshagni and Shubhada. And the explanation was given that they both happen at the same time. It is not like one happens after the other. But again, it is a gradual process. But what happens is gradually our unwanted qualities fade away and we start getting more of the desirable qualities. And that's just the, I guess, the reward. Like when we start the bhakti process, that's what really happens to us. There is transformation that happens. Now let's look at the stages of advancement in bhakti. So here it says in the book, right? First, the qualification for bhakti is Shraddha or faith. Shraddha is firm trust in the import of the bhakti scriptures. It also means to have a genuine desire to undertake the activities described in those scriptures and strong desire to attain the goal. Either of these types of faith may arrive naturally or by force. So here's the thing. In Madhya Leela, Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Leela, this verse 22-62, it talks about faith, right? See, the verse says, Shraddha Chapte Vishwasa Kahe Shudra Nishchaya Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Haya. Shraddha is confident, firm faith that by rendering transcendental loving service to Krishna, one automatically performs all subsidiary activities. Such faith is favorable to the discharge of devotional service. So what is this faith we are talking about? So we have to really delineate, like understand, right, the difference. In the beginning, I remember going to the temple just because, just to play, I think dandiya or something, I was going. And then somebody told me, there is Sunday school here, maybe you should enroll your kids. Then I was like, okay, enroll my kids. So then I would go every Sunday just because the children were going to Sunday school. So at that time, there was something, but I didn't know what it was, right? But then there was steady attendance. And then slowly, what happened is, then I started attending Srimad Bhagavatam class at the temple. Every Sunday, consistent, without fail, I would attend the class. So then slowly, what happens is that faith is strengthening. So here, this faith that is referring to in the stages of advancement in bhakti is that faith when it has become firm. This is not talking about the faith in the original when I just came to the temple. It's not that. This is talking about where I was consistent for a period of time. And I felt that, yes, there is meaning. There is this faith in the scriptures that doing services to Krishna is going to be my goal, kind of that faith. When we get that faith, that is the Shraddha we are talking about, Adhav Shraddha. So here there are two symptoms. What happens? We start getting the faith in the scriptures, in Krishna, in all of the devotional services, everything. And then The second symptom is that we also start performing devotional services. It could be rendering small services, it could be also even chanting is considered rendering service too, but there is consistent chanting. Then we go every Sunday to the Sunday Feast program and we take up some services. Maybe it is like gardening, or maybe it is like teaching Sunday school, or maybe it is like coordinating kirtan, whatever it is, right? Depending on our nature, we take different services, but then we become consistent. We have the attraction to the scriptures, attraction to Krishna devotees, and all of that. We start developing that faith. Second, we start performing devotional service. That's what happens in this Adhav Shraddha stage. Okay, so again, as I said, this is not the beginning. We just went to the temple, but rather this is that faith when it has become stronger. And this is the foundation, right? This is the foundation of the bhakti process, because without faith, nothing else is going to happen. So this is the first stage and the foundational stage. Say in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1:4-15-16, Srila Rupa Goswami explains, right? He explains the different stages in coming into the point of God, love of Godhead. First requirement is that one should have sufficient faith that the only process for attaining love of Godhead is bhakti, devotional service to the Lord. Throughout the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna teaches that one should give up all other processes of self-realization and fully surrender to Him. That is faith. One who has full faith in Krishna, Shraddha, and surrenders unto Him is eligible for being raised to the level of prema, which Lord Chaitanya taught us as the highest perfectional stage of human life. And remember, I also briefly talked about Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari, and Uttama Adhikari. Kanishta is the beginner, Madhyama is the middle stage, intermediate stage, and Uttam Adhikari is the highest perfectional stage, right? Like really highest stage. So these are the three stages of the advancement of a devotee, right? Depending on how we advance, those three are there. So those three, when we have the three different descriptions of those three, one of the factors is faith. Like in a Kanishta or somebody who's starting, the faith is very flexible, like very, what do you say? It is not firm. Like if some situation comes in their life or some things happen or even make a trip to India, things like that, right? The faith can easily be just washed away. That's the Kanishta stage. Madhyama stage is where they may not have all the answers to all the scriptural questions, everything, but still their faith is strong in Guru and Krishna, and they continue with that faith. And then, of course, Uttama Adhikari, the faith is so strong that they are able to even pass it on to others, and have really that faith is very strong at the highest level because they are already in the stages of Ruchi and Ashakti and all that other stage, so they are at the topmost level. So that's what happens. Then let's look at, so that was the first stage. Okay, I just want to pause here. I just wanted to explain that that's what the explanation is given in the first paragraph here in the stages of advancement in bhakti is the Adhav Shraddha stage, right? I think we are good with this, but also we have to understand that this also, faith also, like as I said, depending on where we are, it will be different. Next, look at Sadhu Sangha, right? So Sadhu Sangha is the second stage. So now what happened? Now our faith was developing nicely, coming along. We are consistent in attending Sunday feast or Bhakti Vriksha or even this program we have, whatever different forum we have anyways. But we are very steady in association of the devotees. We are very steady. We have taken up chanting and we are very steady in that also. And we are coming along nicely. And then after a certain period happens, then what do we do? Look at the second paragraph. Then by receiving instructions, by taking shelter of the lotus feet of a guru and inquiring from him in the proper way, one attains auspicious association with a devotee knowledgeable of bhakti, who is affectionate and sharing similar tastes. So now guru comes into the picture. So far we were associating with devotees, we were taking Srila Prabhupada's, books and reading all that and all everything happened. Now the time comes where now we are ready to take take instructions, take the shelter of a lotus feet of Guru. We have to inquire from the Guru and surrender to Guru. And that is actually what it means, sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is not just, like going to a retreat, attending something, and then just forget about it. That's not sadhu sangha. Sadhu sangha is really taking that shelter, a guru. So in this, again, the next, so this is a very, very frequently quoted verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Every time there is initiation, Prabhupada used to always quote this verse. And again, even in the disciplic succession, I feel all the Maharajas, when they are giving initiation, they will always quote this verse, which is Srimad Bhagavatam 11.3.21. Tasmat Gurum Prapadyeta Jigyasu Shreya Uttama Shabde Paresh Anishtatam Brahmani Upamashrayam. Translation: therefore, any person who seriously desires real happiness must seek a bona fide spiritual master and take shelter of him by initiation. What is the qualification of bona fide guru? Is that he has realized the conclusions of the scriptures by deliberation and is able to convince others of these conclusions. Such great personalities who have taken shelter of the Supreme Godhead, leaving aside all material considerations, should be understood to be bona fide spiritual masters. So, in this stage, in Sadhu Sangha, what happens is one is taking up shelter of lotus feet of a spiritual master. And very important, the qualification is that they are in the disciplic succession. They are very clear and very strong faith in that and able to clarify all the questions that we have. That is very important, right? And it's also the relationship you have with the spiritual master. We have to have that relationship and we have to feel that, yes, this is the person who is going to really help support me for spiritual growth. And this relationship with the spiritual master is not just this lifetime. It is lifetime after lifetime. We have heard the words, right? Brahmanda Rite Kone Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Kripa Pae Bhakti Lata Beej. So we have been going around this material world for such long time. Once Guru comes into our life, this relationship is over different pastimes. It is also said that the Guru will make sure that we, it becomes kind of Guru takes over the responsibility that the disciples are liberated from the clutches of material bondage. So he'll come and deliver us no matter what challenges we have. So that's the assurance when we take shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. So anyway, so that's Sadhu Sangha. And then the third stage is Bhajana Kriya, which is executing the devotional process. And this talks about the 9 processes of devotional service. So it's already time. So what we will do is I'll go over the details tomorrow about the difference in the Bhajana Kriya. This is the third stage, which is Bhajana Kriya. And there is unsteady and there is steady. And we will look at what are the different symptoms, what happens in that unsteady, which we all are in that stage. But we will look into the details tomorrow. Thank you so much, devotees, for giving me this opportunity.